Brazil just won their first gold medal since 2011. For Team USA, it's the first time, unfortunately, that we lost in 1989. We came in fourth place. We lost in 1997 to Brazil. We came in second place. In 2009, we had stopped. We came back in 2019, and we was playing pros. We was using our pros then. We went to our college players for the year. We had Aaliyah Boston, Ryan Howard, Grace Berger, Sedona Prince, Diamond Miller, Henny. We just had a better constructed team, I would say, at that time. But Brazil still was giving the smoke. It was pretty much the same team, but we had bigger guards, and that's something that I felt like we was missing for this team. We had a bunch of small guards. We had bigs. We had one true big, and then we had small guards where I don't know who constructed this roster, but whoever constructed this roster shouldn't be able to construct, a roster again. I don't know why was Cheyenne Sellers not on this team? It's like we needed somebody you had to know that we was going to go up against Brazil, and you need some bigger, longer guards like we had the last time we had to play Brazil. We almost got put out by them last time we played. But I felt like the bigger guards was the difference. And we didn't really have no good passers. Like, it was so many plays where we can't make we can't pass the ball inside without turning it over. We can't make a bounce pass. Most of our turnovers throughout this whole tournament was from bounce passes. We can't pass going back door. And we could have corrected that if we had more true point guards instead of these small combo guards. And it would be different because on paper they could score, but it's like in the big moment, where was everybody at? It's like Rickea was the only one that showed up. Like, she was spectacular. That first quarter, it's like the big change I will say with Tammy Etheridge, because I know she gonna get a lot of criticism when she put now Layla was still getting scored on, but with putting her at the 3 after that first Brazil loss, it allowed Rickea not to have to chase perimeter players all around, because she was having to chase Montero around, and that was affecting her field goal percentage. So, like, game 1, she shot 30% from the field. Game 2, she shot 37% from the field against Argentina. Game 3 against Brazil, where she was chasing Montero, she shot 37%. And then after that, they moved Layla to the 3 and Rickea back to the 4, and she shot 41%, 44% against Colombia, and 62% against Canada. And today I want to, hold on, let me bring up her stats for today. Let me see. But yeah, I want to say today she shot 60%. Hold on, shit. What she shoot? Yeah, so Rickea finished 10 of 18 from the field, 55%, and 33% from 3. Let me see how much she finished with 22 points. So it was just her. There's only so much that you could do, and I felt like I probably would have came with lineups like this. I would have started going through bets, make Brazil sink in like they end up doing the third quarter and bringing the double. And from there, you try to open up, the shooting. But our shooters couldn't hit nothing. Like, let me see what everybody was shooting. Janiyah Barker, she was inefficient tonight with 1 of 8 from the field. Raven Johnson was 0 of 2 in 17 minutes. Who else was out there? Now, Bess did good at 5 of 6, but I just felt like she wasn't getting enough work. And I feel like if you got her out there, you know that in the pick and roll, she's going to be a liability. So you have to make her offense justify the liability on defense. And we weren't doing that. I felt like we let them dictate too much. Like, we would just stand there. We would see them setting up and just stand there and watch instead of attacking the ball. Now, I felt like when Betts came in off the bench, she did start trying to set the tone and attack the ball, not just let Brazil set up and get into their set. She was trying to blow it up. And that was the first time that had happened, because prior to that, we were just watching Brazil again. And third quarter, whereas Cardoso had Souza gets put out the second quarter because she get into it with Angel, and then it was something else under the, I don't know if it was with Rickea or I don't know who, I can't remember who it was with, but that was a big hurt because they really don't like playing through Cardoso. Now, it don't make sense to me. Y'all know, like, if I got a big, we feeding the big and letting everything else work around that. Like, even with this big argument with Aaliyah Boston and Alyssa Smith, I don't really think it's personal that that the fans are making an issue. It's not an issue with them, but the fans making an issue. I don't think it's personal because people think, oh, they just freezing Aaliyah out. They're not freezing Aaliyah out. This is how they play basketball now. The guards don't give the ball to the big, and even at the lower levels, they're not making them get the ball to the big. So when they get to these higher levels, they're just going years and years without having to do that. Like, this not the early 2000s. They just don't know they don't know. They haven't seen that play style. They didn't see Shaq. You know, we thinking like, man, I seen Shaq dominate Mutombo and keep getting the ball over and over. That don't make sense to them. They only know Steph Curry. So all of these guards are just trying to score and get theirs. And I wouldn't have played Deja Kelly that long. I think closing out, especially when it got close, I would have had Raven Johnson again. It's like coach just didn't understand. Like, you got to be able to recognize, like, pattern recognition. You got to be able to recognize certain patterns that's going on. When Deja Kelly and Barker got in the lineup, the offense will always get stagnant. Go out through the games and you will see what I'm talking about. Because Barker, I think she's the most talented player. Rickea was the best player, meaning, like, Barker probably has the best skills all the way around. Offensive, defensive, pass lane, can shoot 40% from three for the year, all of that. She got everything, but she has to get a better understanding of the game, and she has to, in regards to, don't just stand there, go set a pick. Like, just be able to read the floor and just turn it down about 2. Like, you on 10, go to about 8. Control chaos. I like the energy, but just make it control chaos. And I feel like that'll just take her to the next level. But we really just got outthought. Like, we got outthought, we got outplayed second half, we got out hustled. We was watching her run in transition. That's why I say I like Cardoso so much, because it's like having an Angel Reese that's 6'7". So I just throw it up. And it's a problem for LSU too, because we got to see Cardoso. Like, this same thing that we seen happen, it's going to happen a lot throughout the year, because you got to understand, it's like sometimes when you get a new quarterback or a new player, the league figures you out the next year. So you're going to see a lot more defenses like this for teams that have the personnel to do it. And playing South Carolina against Cardoso is going to be very tough. It's going to take next level coaching. Now, the only thing the LSU will have that this team didn't have, LSU has bigger guards. And it's just, we went, so Best was 5 of 6, 83%. She had 10 points. Reese was 1 of 6, 16 points. And I didn't understand that. It's like, why would you come out? You had to know you can't come out slow against Brazil after last game. The best thing was to get up and make them work from behind. Like, we already seen they can win a multitude of ways. They prefer to play with Souza, but they actually might have unlocked the key to them winning more gold medals, because it's like they didn't want to give it to Cardoso. She only played like 17 minutes last game against Puerto Rico, but they still came back from like down 10. So now it's like they just at a whole nother level, and she just did very well running in transition. And we just didn't. It's like we lost the fight. It's almost like Rickea felt like, man, it's just me. Is anybody else gonna show up? Layla, 0 for 7. 1 for 6 Reese, 2 for 8 Spear. Who else played? Raven Johnson, 0 for 2, and Barker, 1 for 8. So, it's only so much that you can do by yourself. Turnovers, we just would have, like, it's it's like we lose focus, and that's what it is. Too many of our players and the older player, like I think Rickea, her draft stock went through the roof. I feel like she broke out, and a lot of people gonna be wanting to tap into her in Tennessee, and her draft stock jumped. But like Chris, I'm not saying, she went 2-9, 22%. I feel like her draft stock is, gonna drop a little bit because you're gonna have questions about this is somewhat of a pro-style defense. You had 2 WNBA players and Souza and Dantas and other players who play for professional teams. So you seeing what these players look like at a pro level, and outside of Betts, I think Betts look like she belong at the pro level right now. Not saying that you can't grow. And Rickea look like she belong. I like that first game. I want to say Raven shot like 75% from 2. I like when I seen from them. And I also knew, like, playing against the Colombias and Argentina and all that we was getting like this false sense of confidence. Because for me, you use those games to work on habits that's going to work against the team that we know that we probably going to have to go through. And I didn't really see that. And I seen some of those same mistakes with the passes. It just like we were reckless with the ball. We wasn't really in control. It was nobody really commanding the floor. It was almost like 2 ships was being run. Maybe you had captains, because I heard Charisma was the captain, then I heard Angel was the captain. And then you might feel like you might have others that are better players that might feel that they should. Like, it just like the team wasn't together. Something was off the whole time to me. But I do want to give Angel credit because I feel like being in the light, having as much attention as she's getting, just doing what she did for women's basketball. You can come in with an ego, and I felt like she was very humble throughout the whole experience, that she tried to shed light on everybody, that she never got like bougie on the court or anything like that. She stayed in good spirits. She kept fighting. And she's doing the best that she can do. So like she said, she might not be the best right now. She might not have everything, but she just wants to keep bringing light to the game of women's basketball. And I don't think anybody should be attacking her. And throughout the year, she never does anything else or improve. I never had nothing negative. Now I would have constructive criticism about the game, but I don't think anybody should have any hate towards Angel Reese because she just done so much for women's basketball, and hate it or love it, she's the face of the game. So it'll always be respect for her. Y'all hold your heads up. Y'all got that silver medal. At the end of the day, don't take no excuses. Like, because you still walk away from this experience a better player. You know what you need to work on to succeed at the higher level. So you have a destination. Now you just got to get there. So don't take that, you was too young, because somebody else did it young with the same age gap. Don't take that. Just take it, man, we went out there, we fought. It was a lot of things that we could have done better, but we're going to grow from this experience. And that's it. I don't even know how you cut Anissa, because you got guards out here that's unplayable at the highest level. At least you could have played her at the highest level when she can, some games get hot, shooting mid-range, and it, like, what was y'all thinking when y'all built this team? It's more so, I have more smoke for leadership than I have for the players. And the final score was 82 Brazil. Dang, I didn't know they got up that much, 82-64. Beth still had a 20 efficiency. She had a 1 plus minus in a 20-point loss. So that shows how effective she was. Surprisingly, Deja Kelly, she had a 2 plus minus. Who else had a positive plus minus? And Jewel Spear had a 10. Yeah, I probably would have played Red Marshall at certain points. It just like lineups wasn't right. When we started going to the bench and mixing and matching, it was a lot that could have been improved on that part. I felt like I would have been feet and bets. Now, Betts does have to understand that at a certain point, when the double is coming, you anticipate that, and you trying to hit somebody. So go watch some Joker film and see how quick he get that ball out his hand. And I feel like that takes her to the next level. Charisma, you just got to hit shots. Like at this level, on a fast break, you got to hit shots. Like you got to hit shots or you got to get that ball up on a fast break because you got walked down like twice throughout the whole, cut. Deja Kelly, I think she just got to become a better passer. Layla, big games, you got to hit shots. Defense, you got to get better on defense. Rickea and Bess, I would say at certain points, y'all putting too much pressure on the front foot. So when somebody backing you down, you pushing all your force forward. So all they got to do is pull a chair, spin or something, and you falling forward. I've seen that a few times. Bess, another thing, box out. The game before this, Cardoso set the tone. She was up top, set a pick for Dantas. Dantas shot a 3. You was staying back and drop cover, so you should have been able to get the rebound. Angel jumped up for the rebound. Cardoso ended up coming around you and snatching the rebound from Angel. So, we just got to have more attention on that part. Team USA as a whole can't be so soft. You can't, when you playing in these type of environments, and for the future players that's gonna come, don't be crying and waiting for no calls. This ain't the lower levels like we seen the U16 just jumping on everybody, where everybody your age, everybody your size. These older players not scared of you, just like older players or older people in life just not scared to fight no young person or nothing like that because you can out-think them. What you got at physicality, we gonna beat you in the brain. So you have to slow down, think, see what's in front of you. Don't get sped up. I felt like we should have put a zone out earlier. We waited to the end. It kind of slowed them down, but I didn't like a 3-2 because the 3-2 leaves the corners open, and Brazil has been hitting most of their threes, even against us the last game, from the corner. So I didn't think that made sense, but I did feel like we needed a zone because our players couldn't dictate the defense in the man. So at least keep them in one area, and that would, slow Brazil down to a certain extent. Putting Angel on Cardoso, big no. You can't do it. It had to be Rickea doubling in the zone or Betts. Angel, we seen that with South Carolina versus LSU. And for future players, watch film. Go back. We played them before. See how teams before you have attacked them. Utilize the information age. AAU coaches, USA basketball as a whole, we falling. We relying too much on athleticism. We have to teach our players to think. We have to propel the Alyssa Thomases. We have to propel the Jokers in the media. It's like the only thing that gets rewarded is scoring. So you get these players that scoring by any means, and usually, especially us, we were overly reliant on athleticism, especially at young ages. Y'all just trying to win these travel game tournaments and all that. And that's what get players into ranking. But we have to start rewarding smart players more than we just reward the scores. That's why I would say, I didn't just point to, when I say who played the best, it would be Betts for me, even though Rickea was getting off the way she was, but Betts was doing it on both ends, and she came in and dictated the defense. She wasn't just letting it come to her. And now I felt like she didn't do good down the stretch, but I don't feel like most of the team did good down the stretch. It's about the all-around game. Are you making the right passes? Are you able to read the floor? And a lot of y'all got to get outside. Like, forget all of this organized game. Y'all got to get outside again. Go hoop in the backyard. Go hoop at the rec. Go hoop at the park, so you can see how to create, and you're not just confined to a system. A lot of y'all have been confined to a system to a certain extent, and confined to, you gotta have new looks that's thrown at you. And sometimes when you outside of an organized situation, you're getting different looks thrown at you. It's definitely gonna be more physical. And AAU, like from the bottom to the top, coaching has to get better. You have to start penalizing these guards for not hitting bigs, especially when they have mismatches. I'm not saying you got to hit them every time, but if I got 6'7" on 6'4", 1 + 1 is 2. So it's we all took an L today, but we all gonna grow from this situation because just like when the men lost on the Iverson LeBron team when LeBron was a rookie, the game grew. You know, we was just overly reliant on athleticism, and these guys were thinking the game and understood how to read the floor. And I think from this situation and Alyssa hopefully winning MVP this year, that we'll start to get more players that think the game. So the next crop coming up, Cody. Cody would have even been good on this team. Cody McMahon. Cody, it's like the young players that you chose wasn't the right. We needed size. In the guard position, we needed true wings. Cody, Michaela, Juju, Booker. Now, I do feel like that it's a better set. We didn't even have all our killers. We ain't had Caitlin. We ain't had AZ. We ain't have Olivia Miles. We ain't have all our Paige. We ain't have all our killers. So that's another. I'm just saying for American as whole. It's not an excuse for the players to play, but I'm saying for America, for y'all other countries that think y'all step, like just understand if all the killers was really out there, even I wouldn't have been mad at Sanaya Rivers on this team. We seen the job she did against Caitlin Clark. It's like we needed some more size up front. But again, shout out to Angel Raven. I like some things that I seen. Not today and a lot. Last few games, you've been getting lit up a little bit. Because you 5'7". Like it's only so much you're gonna be able to do. You can press and be fast all you want to, but it's only so much you're going to be able to do at the end of the day with that height. But I did like a couple of those games, how you start commanding the offense, very confident and shooting the mid-range, even shooting the three. You had a lot of confidence, and I like what I seen from that. Anybody else? Chance Gray was just too small. Shoe wasn't athletic enough. Rhea, you got to build on the post game. I felt like if you was going to shoot in that post, that 6-footer that you be hitting, you probably should have went to that more than trying to force it. Same thing with Angel. You got to understand your limitations. That's a good thing. Like a lot of people criticize Sabrina Ionescu, but she understands her limitations and she doesn't try to go past that. And that'll help take you to another level. Angel has to be allowed to bring the ball up the court and really play point guard. Like that's going to take her to a different level, being at point forward and really becoming a better passer and not trying to force shots through players and going up stronger. Like you kind of throw the ball like a football. Like I don't know if it's the core or the legs. Like just getting to that point where you can just jump straight up and go through, throw it off the back or throw it straight in, but not like a throw, but like a regular post shot. Rickea. Oh, Brazil made a good adjustment. They was giving Rickea a lot of space early on, so she would just step in and pull. They was kind of dropping on her. Second half, they start forcing her to drive, and that changed everything. You got to have once they take away your jab, you got to have something else. So once they took away the drive, and to all the players, man, I don't have nothing against nobody. Understand, this is just basketball talk. The same way we talk to men. I seen somebody tweet that the true respect is being able to criticize the game. If I criticize the men, I should be able to criticize the women the same way. Constructive criticism. I'm not hating on nobody. I'm not getting into nobody's personal situation. This is only talking basketball, and I'm saying that because of something that occurred. I'm not gonna get into it, but just know none of this is personal. I got love for all of y'all, and of course, I wanted y'all to win, and I just want to see the game win as a whole. So, shout out to Team USA. Jules Spear, Angel Reese, Layla, Charisma, Deja, Rickea, Lauren Bell. She was a dog, like the whole time. Dog, MVP for the team. You ain't get the ball enough, but I seen like you had that look. Rickea came out, carried early, had us off. I think the world walks away wanting to see you. Barker. I seen people tweeting about like, dang, who she play for? So, Gray, Shoe, Raven. Yeah, Raven. I just love her spirit, man, and I just wish the best for her. But it's gonna be tough this year. But we need to all take this, learn from it, grow from it. It's a great experience. We silver medalists this year. Shout out to Brazil. Who did they think? Let me get a Cardoso. What she put up? 20 points, 10 to 17, 58%. played 29 minutes, the most minutes, and this is a preview of what you about to get at South Carolina. So South Carolina, y'all got to, somebody who really, they stepping. So I'm scared. I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie. I'm scared. Paxal ain't even go off today. Now, she had went off last time when the U.S. played them in 2021, and the last game she went off, but she ain't really go off today. Dantis, she went off last game against Puerto Rico. She dropped like 23. This game, she dropped 11 and shot 44%. Let me see what else. Anybody else? Yeah, Souza got thrown out. So, overall, who had the highest plus minus? Deborah Costa had a 15 plus minus. Dantis had a 10. Paxal had a 12 with only 5 points and 1 to 7. So that shows like you can impact the game at a high level without score. And efficiency, Cardoso had a 26. But shout out to everybody tuning in. Appreciate y'all. And that's why sometimes the numbers lie and sometimes your eyes can lie. You check the numbers with the eye test and check the eye test with the numbers. Cut twice, measure twice, cut once. On paper, we was good shooters, but throughout the tournament, it showed it wasn't the truth. So